Hey there, it's Marlene Helema from ImageMaven.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can get more reach from your existing lenses using built-in features of the Lumix G9 and other Lumix cameras. So if you've never taken that deep dive into the Lumix camera menus, maybe now's the time to do it. If this is your first time here, well, thanks for checking me out. I teach photography, photo editing, a little bit of lighting, and I'm a huge fan of Lumix cameras. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Every once in a while you're out taking photos and you come across a situation where you wish you had a longer focal length lens. Well, there's two ways that you can solve this problem using Lumix cameras. I'm going to demonstrate this using the Lumix G9, but it also works on my GH3 and other Lumix cameras that I own. So what you can do is one of two things. You can use the digital zoom, or you can set up the extended teleconverter. I'm going to show you how to do each of them, and we're going to look at some images and talk about the pros and cons. Alright, let's set this up. I'm going to be using the Lumix G9 for this, but it does work, like I said, with other Lumix cameras as well. So go into your menus, and on the G9 it's on page 3 of 5, and we have two choices here. We have extended teleconverter and digital zoom. I'll talk about the digital zoom first. It's very simple to set up. It's either off 2 times or 4 times. Let's do it at 2 times, and we'll do it at 4 times. Let's review the photos. All right, now let's set up the extended teleconverter. So you go into the menu and you choose on, so you teleconverter. But in order for it to actually be usable, what you need to do is go into the image size. And right now I have it in, as you can see here, large file size. So let's take a picture, and that's what it looks like, and that's my 15mm lens. So let's go back to the quick menu, and you can see that it says EX beside the M and EXS, and it has different aspect ratios. So if I change it to medium, you can see that I got closer. Let's go back into the quick menu again and choose small, and I'm the closest. So let's review those photos. There's the small, medium, and large. So basically, yes, it is like cropping your image. Let's take a look at a few more images. You might have noticed that the digital zoom at 2 times magnification and the extended teleconverter at small size gives approximately the same crop factor on your image area. So you might want to do some direct comparisons with these two things, the digital zoom and the small extended teleconverter, to see which works best for you. Because if that's the magnification you need, then that might be a good enough quality. And let's face it, 5 megapixels at the small extended teleconverter size is plenty big enough if you're just using images for Facebook, for Instagram, or for making prints, blog posts, and that kind of thing. You don't always need that 20 megapixel or greater size. Now, of course, you really can't tell the image quality on a YouTube video, even if you're viewing it at high res. You're going to have to do your own testing with different subjects and see which works for you, whether digital zoom is suitable or extended teleconverter. And that would depend as well on your subject. So who is this for? Well, these features are for the people that are occasional wildlife shooters. Perhaps you take a trip to the zoo with the kids or the grandkids and you just want to get a little closer to that animal that's way in the back of the compound. You know, use an extended teleconverter if you want really sharp, perfect images. Digital zoom, not a huge fan of. I find that it makes the image look like it has a little bit of artifacting going on. But you know what? If you need the shot, you need the shot. If you have to get 4 times closer, then hey, do it. So here's a couple of extra tips. If you're already using a fairly long lens, like this is my 35-100, and you want to use the digital zoom, one thing you might want to just remember is that when you're extending it to the full focal length, you want to make sure you're using a fairly fast shutter speed. so 1 over the focal length. To give yourself a little insurance, go at least 1/200th of a second, maybe even 1/500th of a second if you're using the 4x teleconverter. Not all cameras have the best built-in stabilization. The G9, luckily for me, does, and so does the lens I'm using. But make sure that you are not getting camera shake. You don't want anything to compromise the image quality or the focus of your images. And if you tend to have a long lens and you're a little shaky, you might want to throw your camera on a tripod or a monopod to minimize the camera shake. So if you've never taken that deep dive into the Lumix camera menus, maybe now's the time to do it and play with the extended telephoto and the digital zoom and see for yourself which works best for you. See you next time.